Hello again, grade 1. Today's lesson is 10.3. Read a bar graph. It's not like a picture graph, it's not like before. This time, it's reading a bar graph. And this picture is a chocolate bar. Why did the teacher put a chocolate bar picture in this page? Because we want to understand what's the meaning of the word bar. It's like a bar of chocolate. It's like a tall line. It's divided into equal pieces. So open with me page number 588. 587, we're not going to take it. In page 588, you can see the first bar graph. And this bar graph is showing some information. It has different colors of bars. Each bar is different length. This one is very short. This one a little bit taller. And this is the tallest bar. Why these bars are drawn like this? Because we asked a few children, what is your favorite art tools? And this is the number of children who chose the markers, the number of children who chose the paintbrushes, and the number of children who chose crayons. This is a way to show information. What can we give a name for this bar graph? Our favorite art tools. Good job. How about if I asked you how can you read the information inside a bar graph? Well, if I wanted to know how many children chose markers, I'm going with the same column from here all the way to the end of the bar. This is the end of the bar. Then I'm going downwards towards something that we call a ruler. This is the ruler from 0 all the way to 6. If we have a longer bar, we're gonna use another ruler that is a little bit taller. Now, if I wanted to know how many children chose markers, I'm going with this bar all the way to the end of the bar and then go downwards to the number 5. So 5 children chose markers. How many children chose paintbrushes? All the way to the end of the bar. Then go downwards. What is the number? Excellent, it's number 6. 6 children chose paintbrushes. How many children chose crayons? The same way. Go to the end of the bar, go downwards, and find your number. The 2 children chose crayons. So each time, touch the end of the bar. Look down to see the number of children. Sometimes our bar graph is not like this. It's vertical. And I will show you an example in a minute. Now, let's answer a few questions about this bar graph. Favorite art tools bar graph. Question number 1. How many children chose paintbrushes? Go to the bar graph, find the paintbrushes, go to the end of your bar, and downwards read the number. 6 children chose paintbrushes. How many children chose crayons? Go to the crayons bar, all the way to the end, go downwards, read the number. 2 children chose crayons. Now, how many more children chose paintbrushes than crayons? So how many more? Underline it. Use the song. How many more? Subtraction. Excellent. Now, we want to write a subtraction sentence. But what 2 numbers we're going to subtract? Paintbrushes, crayons. Go to the paintbrushes again, it's 6. Go to the crayons, it's 2. So 6 and 2 we're gonna subtract. 6 minus 2 equals 4. Good job, right? 4 more children. Question number 4. Which art tool did the fewest children choose? Compare the length of the bars here. Which one is the shortest? Because we want the fewest children. The fewest number of children choose. They chose. Which one is the shortest? The yellow one is the shortest. That means the crayons is the tool that the fewest children choose it. Question 5. Which art tool did the most children choose? Most. Now go again to the bar graph. Compare the length. Which one is the taller bar? The blue one with the paintbrushes. Excellent. So the paintbrushes is the tool that most children choose. Move with me to the next page. This is another bar graph. And in this graph, you can see that our ruler is not down. Our ruler now, it's going upwards. This bar graph is a vertical bar graph. And you can see that the car has this yellow bar on top of it. That means how many kinds of vehicles, and here how many children chose the car as their favorite vehicle. So we want to know how many children chose the car, and how many children chose the truck, and how many children chose the dump truck. So our favorite vehicle, this is the title of our bar graph. Here are the kinds of vehicles. I put them all next to each other. Then on my ruler, I put the number of children because I want to see how many children chose each kind. This is my ruler from 0 all the way to 6. Then I want to know how many children chose the car. So I go to the car picture, I go to the bar that is up from the car, and then I'm gonna read the number that is at the end of my bar. Go to the end of the bar and fall on the ruler. What is the number here? 2. Excellent. 2 children chose the car as their favorite vehicle. How about how many children chose the dump truck? I'm not going to the red truck. I'm going to the dump truck. So I go with this column, I go with this bar all the way to the end, and then I fall on the ruler. Like this. Go to the end and fall on the ruler. So what's the number? 6 children chose the dump truck. How many children in all chose cars and dump trucks? So I want to see how many in all. And we have the keyword here, and. Excellent. Adding. So we want to add 2 numbers now. What are the 2 numbers that we're gonna add? From the car and from the dump truck. Car, it's 2. Dump truck, it's 6. So we're going to add 6 plus 2 equals 8. Excellent. And put the number in the space. Again, we have more questions about this bar graph. Question 9. How many more children chose the truck than the car? The red truck this time. So how many more chose the truck than the car? We're going to see what are the 2 numbers that we need. Go to the truck all the way up, fall on the ruler. Now we need the number 5. I write it here for you so you don't forget. We're using number 5. And then how many children chose the car? This one already we know it. 2 children chose the car. I'm gonna write 2 here. We have how many more? Underline it. Remember, how many more? What are we going to use? Subtraction. Excellent. 5 and 2. What should I do now? I want to write a subtraction sentence using the numbers 5 and 2. So, is it 2 minus 5? Of course not. I cannot start with the smaller number. I'm gonna start with the bigger number. 5 minus 2 equals 3. So 3 more children chose truck than the car. Now question number 10. Which vehicle did the most children choose? And we want to know the most. This is the word that is very important. The most. That means I'm going to the longest bar. Where is the longest bar? The dump truck has the longest bar, so I'm gonna circle the dump truck. Now question 11. Order the vehicles from least to most votes. Well, we know the least because it's the shortest bar. And then we know the next one. And then we know the longest bar. So they want me to put them in order. Order them from least to the most votes. So we're going to the least first. Which one is the least? The car. So put number 1 under the car. Which one is a little bit taller, but doesn't have the most votes? The truck, the red truck. Excellent. Put number 2. Now, how about the dump truck? It has the most votes. So we're gonna write the third number, number 3, for the dump truck. Now, open the next page. In this page, we're going to solve question number 14 first, because after that, we're going to change something about our bar graph. First, look at the bar graph. What is the title of this bar graph? How our jackets are fastened. That means how the jackets are closed. What do we use to close our jackets? We have 2 choices here to fasten the jackets or close them: zippers and buttons. How many children said that their jackets are fastened with zippers? Let's go to the zippers bar all the way to the end. Fall on the ruler and read the number. So 5 jackets are fastened with zippers. How many jackets are fastened with buttons? Go to the bar, end of the bar, go downwards to the ruler and read the number. 2 jackets are fastened with buttons. Now, we want to use this graph to answer how many more jackets have zippers than the buttons. How many more? Good job, underline it. And then we're going to use subtraction. So if I wanted to use subtraction, what 2 numbers I'm going to subtract? 5 and 2. Excellent job. 5 minus 2 gives me 3. Wonderful. Now circle the answer. Now, for question 12 and 13, we're going to change something about our bar graph. Kim puts on a jacket with buttons. And we want to add her jacket to our graph. We didn't add Kim, what she said. Now we have to add it. How many jackets have buttons now? If we want to add, we're going to this bar and we're going to color one more box to show you the taller bar. So we color one more. Then we want to know how many jackets have buttons now. So we go to the bar, to the end of the bar now, and go downwards to the ruler. 3 jackets have buttons. Ed adds a row. He doesn't only want zippers and buttons. He wants to add another kind of fastening our jackets. So he has a jacket that's closed differently. It doesn't have a zipper and it doesn't have a button. It has something that he called snaps. This is the picture for snaps. So if he wanted to add another row, and this row is going to be called snaps, how many jackets they have snaps? He says that 2 fewer jackets have snaps than the jackets which has zippers. So go to the zippers. I'm at the zippers now. There are 5 jackets which close or fastened with zippers. 2 fewer. 2 fewer. What should I do? Subtract. Excellent. So 5 minus 2 is going to equal 3. That means how many jackets are going to have snaps than zippers? 3. Excellent job. Now let's come to this tool. In this tool, I'm going to add one more row. And this row is called snaps. Because Ed says there is a third way to fasten a jacket. Not only zippers and buttons. We can add snaps. And then he said that the snaps are 2 fewer than the jackets which fastened with zippers. How many are fastened with zippers? 5. Excellent. So I write here zippers. 5. If I wanted 2 fewer than the 5, how can I make the snaps? In which number I'm gonna stop? Where my bar graph is going to stop? Well, I'm going to the 5 first. And then I want 2 fewer than 5. So I'm gonna jump backwards. 1, 2. Only 2 fewer. So I'm gonna jump here. What number did I stop at? 3. Excellent. So how many jackets are fastened with snaps? 1, 2, 3. That's it. So this is the new shape of our bar graph.